Amelia and I'm 6 years old. Hi, I'm Zosha and I'm 8 years old.
Hi everyone, this is Mommy.
What's up everyone, I'm Daddy.
And you're listening to
It's Movie Night.
And this week we watched My Spy.
Amazon Studios put out this family action comedy in 2020. It's rated PG-13 and has a runtime of 1 hour and 39 minutes. Some other family-friendly movies Amazon put out around this time were Troop Zero and The Tomorrow War.
Amelia, what would you say this movie's about?
It's about a boy and a girl who spy on a family, and the boy, he makes a friend, and that's the little girl inside the family.
Yes, this movie's about a CIA agent named JJ who, after messing up too many big operations, is put onto a small watch and report job in Chicago. The subject's a mother and her 9-year-old daughter, but after the daughter catches JJ and his partner spying on them, it becomes less of a job and more of a friendship.
Some familiar faces in this movie. JJ is played by Dave Bautista. He started off as a pro wrestler on WWE, but girls, what do we know him most from now?
Drax.
Yes, he is in the Guardians of the Galaxy and other MCU movies as Drax. Wonderful character. The rest of the movies he's in, though, not so much for kids, so parents, you may recognize him as Vic Manning in Stuber. He was in the newer Glass Onion movie as Duke Cody, and Daddy and I really enjoyed him as Leonard in Knock at the Cabin.
Yes, and Stuber is also like a secret, really funny movie that he's in.
Hidden gem.
Yes, check out Stuber, parents.
Sophie is played by Chloe Coleman. She is young Loak in Avatar: The Way of Water, Kira in the Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves movie, and parents, you may recognize her as Emily in Gunpowder Milkshake. Bobby is played by Kristen Schaal. She is Trixie the Triceratops in Toy Story 3, 4, and all the shorts, Edith in Captain Underpants, the first epic movie, but parents, you may recognize her voice as Louise Belcher in Bob's Burgers. And then director David Kim, JJ's boss, is played by Ken Jeong. He is Kim Lai in Turbo, Dynomutt in Scoob, but parents, you know him as Mr. Chow from the Hangover franchise.
Yeah, he's great in that. And the director of this movie is Peter Segal. He directed some pretty decent movies for like early 90s. He made Tommy Boy, Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps, Anger Management, 50 First Dates, The Longest Yard, so he kind of went into like an Adam Sandler phase.
Yeah.
And then he also directed Get Smart.
So he works with plenty of comedians.
He does. Mommy, you had mentioned this movie came out in 2020. But how old were you the first time you watched it, and do you remember liking it?
It was this week, so I was 32 years old, and yeah, I thought it was a cute movie.
Yes, this was a first watch for all of us. We decided, you know what, it's been a while since we all watched a movie for the first time together, so let's go with this one.
And I'm glad we did. It was refreshing.
It was.
So how old were you, Daddy, when you watched this movie?
I am 33 right now. And Zosha?
I'm 8.
And Amelia?
I'm 6.
Perfect. Now that we have our ages out of the way, let's head into our title drop. Zosha, anything?
Nope.
Nope. Unfortunately, there is no My Spy set in this film. Lots of the word spy, but not quite on par. Amelia, what about our cat cam?
Yes, there is a cat. It's at the art studio at the school.
Yes, so Sophie has a art show, I guess, in her gym, and it's a pretty funny scene. You'll like the sentence said by Dave Bautista.
JJ wanted to come to our art show and see some of my work. Apparently, he loves art.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Sophie, what you've done here, the color, it's amazing. I mean, you can actually tell that that's a bird. As opposed to this piece of crap. I mean, what the hell is that? I mean, it looks like a hot dog taking a dump on a cat. That is horrible, right? Right.
It's such a funny, short little scene, and it made us all laugh.
Yeah, it was a laugh out loud moment.
Now, some of our favorite scenes. Amelia, start us off.
I like when JJ was teaching Sophie to walk away from explosions.
Yes, and what was Sophie not allowed to do?
Look back.
Yeah, cool guys don't look back at explosions.
Yeah, it is a funny scene. This is like in the montage because it's one thing that she wants to learn how to be a spy. So JJ's teaching her some of the ropes that he knows. And one of the things she really wants to learn how to do is to walk away from an explosion and not look.
It's hard.
So when he's teaching Sophie, what do they light off first, Amelia?
Fireworks.
Yes, they just use fireworks. And Sophie does what?
She turns and looks back at it.
Yes, and then what does JJ do?
He puts his hand on her and then turns it forward.
Yes, because she is not doing a very good job at not looking at the explosion.
So fireworks are for, man, to look at.
Mommy, do you have a favorite scene?
I do have a favorite part. I really like when JJ comes out and he's ready to go on a date with Sophie's mom. And he meets the neighbors in the hallway. And I thought he looked really nice. He had this red and black just flannel on, buttoned all the way up to the top. And I know you made the comment about it. You're like, ooh, look at that all the way up button-up job.
Yeah, if you got a shirt that buttons all the way up to the top, button it all the way up to the top. That's what it's there for. All the other buttons would think it's a loser if it wasn't buttoned up.
So yeah, he gets dragged into the neighbor's house, and the neighbors are this lovely gay couple, and they have some awesome scenes as well. But I really liked this one because it just goes to show how much not style sense I have compared to the gay community, because they completely overhaul his outfit, and he's got like this, he comes back out with this peach-colored long shirt on and like this blue navy scarf, like
Yeah.
not my taste at all, not somebody I would go for, but all right, I'll give him that. He did look somewhat handsome.
Yes, this was one of my favorite scenes, and it's because you get to see Todd and Carlos, and these actors that play these characters are just awesome. They vibe so well together. Carlos explains that Todd is a therapist, and all Todd does throughout this entire movie is grunt at everything. Whether it's disapproval or approval, he is always grunting.
Shaming the outfit.
Yes, he does do that. And it's just hilarious. I love these characters. Every scene that they were in, they stole the screen.
Yeah, it was good because we never hear Todd talk, I think, throughout this entire movie. Carlos does everything, and it goes to show that I feel like there's always a couple out there like this.
Yeah.
That one person is just the voice of everything, and it's just, I don't know, it was cute.
Yes. Zosha, did you have a favorite scene?
Yes, it's when Sophie brings JJ to school for Special Friends Day.
Yeah, what's Special Friends Day? It's kind of like the Parents' Day for...
It's like a career day, yeah.
Like a career day, right? So Sophie goes last, and JJ goes up there. And what does JJ do?
JJ says a lie about his job, and then he sees Sophie being bullied, so then he actually says his real job.
And what's his real job?
He's not supposed to say it, but he's a spy.
Yeah, all the moms and the teachers are just like, ooh, and like he's a war hero because, yeah, that's what he was. He was in the military, and he's like, that was my job, was to get rid of bad guys. Everything I did wasn't all bad. Listen, everything I did was for the United States. And he's like getting defensive because then like the dads are like, come on, this isn't, because I think one of them was like a doctor and the other one was like a lawyer, like very fancy job. So, of course, they're getting all jealous and the moms turn around. They're like, be quiet. He is so good.
I like when JJ is showing them his scars, but you could also see his tattoos.
Yeah.
And all the moms and the teacher are like oogling over it. And the dad opens up his shirt. He's got like one clover on his
tattoo,
pec.
yeah.
One 4-leaf clover tattoo on his pec. And it was just funny.
It was a very funny scene.
It would be me in that situation.
You want to see my Batman symbol?
Yeah.
But it's a really cute scene, and it's the one where we see JJ finally starting to show emotion.
Yes, it's another one of my favorite scenes. You guys took both of mine.
Snooze, you lose. So with that, let's roll into positives. What do you have, Daddy?
My positive is that these types of movies just work. Schwarzenegger did Kindergarten Cop, The Rock did The Game Plan, Vin Diesel did The Pacifier, and John Cena did Playing with Fire. If you like a typical buff dude out of his element with kids like I do, then this movie's for you. There's just something about this typical plot that continues to entertain for different generations. Like, I can't wait to see who's going to be the next generation making this buff dude, macho guy who's going to be teamed up with kids. And it's wonderful. I think that a lot of people will like this type of movie.
Agreed. And I'm sure some of these people who are majority in action movies like to do something different. They like to show that, hey, I could be a funny guy too. I could be a sweet guy. I'm not always like, let's go blow stuff up.
Yeah, you're not just always making the Expendables.
Yes. And that's something that makes it cute. It's plain and simple. Another positive about this movie. JJ's the tough CIA spy who isn't necessarily to the book, but he tries to stay in the lines when he can. And there's these moments, though, where he lets his guard down. He's opening up to this 9-year-old girl who teaches him that it's okay to let people into your heart. And it just completely throws his book out the window, but in a good way, I think.
I agree 100%. If you're looking for a movie that's just like, hey, let's watch somebody who is out of their element and let's just be cute with it, like this is it.
which rolls right into the message. Keep your mind open. Just because you think you should have a certain job, lifestyle, partner, etc., doesn't mean that's how it should be. JJ found that he was much happier with a quirky tech partner and a family in Chicago over being a covert ops star. Another layered message: people aren't always what they appear to be. JJ ended up being a super nice guy, whereas Sophie's dad hid terrible things from his wife.
Yeah.
So, pros and cons, people.
For sure.
Speaking of pros and cons, let's flip into negatives. So, the violence. I know this movie is rated PG-13, but I thought it toyed the line quite a bit. I'm going to talk about this a little bit more in parental guidance, but the one thing I wanted to say right off the bat is we do see a decapitated head. It is not gory at all, but it does kind of fly across the screen nonetheless, and that kind of made me go, oh.
Yeah, it's in the beginning, isn't it?
Yes, it's towards the beginning of the movie, and it definitely shocked me a bit.
I would say that is the worst scene, though, of violence, of like, oh my gosh, why did they show that? So,
I would agree, because everything else is a little bit tamer and more just explosion-based, but...
Yeah.
Ooh.
It was with being in the first 4 minutes, you're like, oh my gosh, what are we getting into here?
Yeah, and in that same scene, there is quite a bit of gun violence, which you understand. It's spy, it's military, these things are going to exist, but it went a little hard.
They're setting up that JJ's character is that type of person.
Yes,
so,
that is the lifestyle that he came from. But for a movie that is clearly targeted towards children, it was like, all right, what are we getting into?
Yeah. One of my negatives, the blackmail in this movie. Sophie tricks JJ into being her friend and liking her mom.
So much manipulation.
And you shouldn't have to trick someone or give someone something that they want to be around you. They should just want to be around you. And it's kind of, I don't think that kids should be able to see this, because you wouldn't want this in a regular relationship like mommy and daddy. Like, hey, the reason why I stay is because I do this for him, or the reason why I stay is because she does that for me. Like, no, just be there because you love the person and you want to be with them, or enjoy their company as a friend. Like, you should not have to be enticed.
I agree with this 100%, but I'll play devil's advocate on the other side, where Sophie is so young and so lonely that it shows that desperation that she just needs a friend. She doesn't care where she gets it, and if this is the only way that's going to do it, I need a friend. I'm so lonely. So I understand why she does the things that she does. It doesn't make it right, but it's for a good reason, I guess you should say.
Okay.
And then the hard part is it does end up changing JJ for the better.
Yeah.
So that's the tough part about it.
Yeah,
It's definitely not right at all. And I agree. Yeah, you need to be with someone because they want to.
Yeah, we wouldn't have the movie that we have if she would have done the right thing. So yeah, I understand 100%.
But I mean, at least it all worked out, and there was no blackmail in the end.
No.
But to go along with Sophie kind of making this relationship out of blackmail, I don't like how fast this relationship escalates between the two of them. So clearly we have children. We have kids. We're with them every day. And I could tell you right now that even if these girls met someone tomorrow, one of our neighbors, there is no way within a week's time they're asking them to go to their school and meet their friends and stuff like that. Like, even people that Daddy and I are friends with, that, you know, him and I have been friends with since high school. The girls may not know them that well, but they'll come over and they're still got their guard up. Like, yeah. I know my parents know you, but I don't know you, so get away from me.
Very true.
So that part kind of seemed unrealistic. It within 2 weeks, they're best friends for life with a 9-year-old, and more people aren't like I know there's a little bit of that creep vibe of like, get away from my daughter, or what are you doing hanging out with the neighbor's
at the very
kid?
Start, yeah.
But why isn't there more of that? Because I feel like me as a parent, I'd be like, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Look at this gigantic, scary gorilla-looking man hanging out with my 9-year-old daughter. Absolutely not.
Another negative I have is the spy training. Yes, it's funny, but one of the scenes is about being able to talk your way out of any situation.
Or into any situation.
Yes, and like I said, it's all played as funny, but in this particular scene that I'm mentioning, JJ talks about how she needs to get into an apartment and get onto someone's balcony. So he's openly telling her to go into this apartment building and then knock on a door and then try to get into this person's balcony. And you're thinking, okay, she's going to sneakily do this. No, she talks to strangers in multiple apartment buildings and gets onto multiple different balconies. And it's all in the time that he's able to finish a hot dog. So yes, it's funny, but she's also talking to strangers. She's going into a building that she doesn't know. And I got to think that there might be an apartment building that wouldn't have had a friendly person in there.
100%. Almost every apartment building's got to have at least one bad, like someone who's not the best person in the world. But again, like you said, it is played off as cute. One of them's a grandma giving her a glass of milk.
Yeah, she's holding someone's baby.
Yes, and the other one, she's holding a family's baby and just like hanging out and stuff like that. Another one looked like a couple that was just like, oh, let's entertain this kid. But yeah, unfortunately, there are a lot of terrible people in the world. Let's not show kids that it's okay that you could just walk into an apartment building and knock on the door and someone's going to help you. Nope. That is not unfortunately, how life works.
Nope.
Another thing I wasn't too fond of is Bobby, who is JJ's partner, is not treated as an equal at all whatsoever. She is the tech side of the operation, which in today's day and age, I would think is extremely important. You know, she can hack computers and she tries to call all the shots and lets JJ know, like, hey, you can go this way, but not that way. Like, you need that teamwork. And JJ just pushes her away completely. Like the fact that he chooses to teach a 9-year-old girl all these spy things instead of his actual certified CIA partner is wild.
Yeah, and she expresses that she's one of JJ's biggest fans. So like it's a real slap in the face to her.
Multiple times, she's like, dude, you're my hero. And then Bobby gets upset and JJ has the nerve to ask her if she made dinner. Like that whole scene was like, whoa, that was some Pleasantville, where's my dinner stuff.
Yeah, I didn't care for that at all because it's just, it's kind of like putting a woman or a girl or a female in any situation, or even a man. If you take on that role that you are expected to do in the house, like you shouldn't be telling her like, where is it? Like, where's my dinner? Why don't you have this done? I had a big problem with that.
It was offensive.
It was very offensive. Bobby's not perfect though. There's a scene where they're arguing and she throws it into JJ's face, the reason why he's so closed off. I'm not going to say it because it is a spoiler. And he tells her that that's classified, and she says, well, I can hack. If you'd paid attention, then you'd know that I'd be more useful than just being here as making dinner. And this is just someone that we're supposed to sympathize for, and when she does something like this, I lost a lot of respect for her. I did not like it at all.
No, because the privacy is there for a reason, and there are reasons that there are laws like HIPAA. There's reasons we're not allowed to go into patients' charts just because we're friends with them. If they don't want you to know something, you are not supposed to know that. They can tell you in confidence in their own time, but don't go looking for it. Wait for him to come to you. Don't be hacking his stuff.
That would have been a way better scene to have between him and Sophie, too. Like, I don't need the reason why he is the way he is from Bobby. It should have been from Sophie or from Kate, the mom.
Honestly, just as long as he told anybody, it's better than someone just hacking in and finding out.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of negatives or positives come with parental guidance, Mommy?
So language is moderate. It's nothing excessive in our opinions, but swearing doesn't bother us. If you don't like your child to hear profanity, this movie might not be for you, since it's pretty consistent throughout the film. Mm-hmm. They play a Cardi B song a couple times, so, I mean, you know what you're getting to alone with that.
Even Sophie says a bad word or two, I think.
Yes. Violence, it's an action spy movie, so of course, there's physical fighting, gun violence, knife throwing, and explosions. We already discussed the flying head across the scene in one of JJ's missions. For a kid's movie, some may say it's excessive, but I think all in all, the violence was on point for the story. Scary? I think seeing Sophie get kidnapped by her uncle can be frightening, but I think it's an important thing for kids to see. Statistically, when bad things happen to kids, it's typically by someone that they know. So to hear the uncle say he doesn't care about her and that her dad hated him, etc., it's tough. But it's an important lesson for kids that terrible people exist in this world.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, it might be controversial to say that, but I'm like, hey, goes to show, you can't trust everybody, kids. Grown-up stuff, there is some alcohol use. The male couple across the hall make a risque comment about sharing interest in long-range missiles. There is brief kissing, and JJ takes a beating below the belt and later comments that his guy's still hurt. Cry factor, nothing got any tears out of us, but there are a few scenes that might tug at your heartstrings.
Yeah, there's a few touching moments. And as for our age recommendation, you know your kids better than we do. We're just here to give you our opinions. This is a conundrum of a film. It seems to have too much language and violence for a young audience, and teens wouldn't want to watch a movie with a 9-year-old. So I'm going to recommend meeting in the middle of our kids in the PG-13 and maybe go 10 and up.
That's fair. I mean, but then again, we have a 6 and 8-year-old, and let's see how it held up with them.
Yeah, so Rotten Tomato critics have this movie at a 48%, which is a thumbs down. Audiences have it lower at 39%, still a thumbs down. Let's see how it holds up in our house. Zosha, Do you give My Spy a thumbs up, a thumbs middle, or a thumbs down?
Thumbs middle, because I don't really like the explosions and stuff.
Yeah, you're not a big
Not for
action.
me.
Yeah, you're not an action fan. Amelia?
I give it a thumbs up since there was a lot of funny parts and I just liked it.
Oh, okay. Mommy?
I'm going to go thumbs middle. I thought it was enjoyable. It's something that I would watch again. There is a sequel, ironically, that comes out this week, and this movie made me actually want to check it out.
It comes out today, the day of this episode will be dropping.
So yeah, like I think it was cute enough. Is it a spectacular movie? No, it very much so follows that typical format, but made me laugh. It made us all smile. It was an enjoyable evening, so I'll go thumbs middle. What about you, Daddy?
I'm going thumbs down. I did not like this movie. I thought, other than the fact that we were watching a movie for the first time together, that this movie wasn't very good. I would not watch it again. There's too many negatives, and Bautista's great. I would watch Bautista do anything. But
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think he is the hot take, guys, but I think he's the best wrestler turned actor.
He's definitely the best wrestler who's challenging himself as an actor. So, yeah, I could see that.
He can do more than one genre. The fact that he did an M. Night movie as well as a superhero movie and then this typical one as well, like, it shows he's got some range. He's not One Note Johnson.
He's definitely not.
I know you love The Rock, but I know.
Dwayne Johnson.
But he is.
Don't make this about that. Come on, don't. And if any of you would like to add My Spy to your movie night list, it is available exclusively on Prime Video.
And after watching, let us know if you give it thumbs up, thumbs middle, or thumbs down.
And when you want to let us know what you think about the movie, please find us on social media. We like to post pictures of us on our movie nights, letting you know what snacks and sweets we're eating. It's a fun place to hang out.
Our Facebook is It's Movie Night, and our Instagram is It's Movie Night Pod. Thank you for listening. Join us next week for another movie night. Bye.
Bye.